we know that singing together is good for your well-being. We also know that outdoor experiences are good for a person's well-being. The overarching aim of our project was to combine these two beneficial experiences, but most importantly to improve access to those experiences for those who perhaps can't engage with them on a day-to-day basis. Our partner, the National Trust, came to us with a very particular problem, and that was that they wanted to find new ways with which to engage the public, to work with and learn about not just their landscapes and landmarks, but to emotionally connect with the stories and the memories associated with them. And a good example of this is the gifting of 12 summits in the Lake District to the nation at the end of the Great War. Now, the National Trust wanted to mark the anniversary of this gifting. And what better way, or what more obvious way, than to take a 40-piece scratch community choir to the summit of Great Gable to perform a composition written to the dedication text that was spoken on the day of that gifting. Obvious? Perhaps not, but quite an experience. So that's what we did. We took a 40-piece choir to the top of Great Gable and we recorded them in virtual reality, in 360 video and audio from within the choir, so that we could then recreate that performance so that not only the people that were there at the time could experience it. We rendered this in VR so that the performers who had taken part could try it out again and tell us whether it felt similar. You know, was it realistic? Was it immersive? Do you feel like you're part of this choir? But also so that members of the public who perhaps didn't want to hike for 10 hours or indeed couldn't take part in the workshops where they learnt the songs could also have a go. So we installed our virtual reality experience at Keswick Museum so that people could come and have a go with the experience. I hope people have tried the demo over in the Ron Cook Hub after lunch today. And we had 22 people who had taken part in the original performance come and try the experience. And we had an overwhelming positive responses to what it felt like. So people said, oh, it's amazing to remember what it was like being on top of that hill. It feels like we're on top of Great Gable. There are some issues which were highlighted in the previous presentation, actually. There's quite a lot of wind on the top of the mountain, and we had no haptic feedback in our virtual reality. So that was noticed by some of the people that took part. We also took our virtual reality experience to the Lakes Alive Festival, and 150 people tried it out there. And we used a self-assessment mannequin to assess the experience, and there was an overwhelming 100% positive response that although 5 people said they felt a little bit more sleepy after taking part. So what do we want to do next? Okay, so we've created a virtual reality experience where you can sing as part of this choir. Okay, you are surrounded by the choir. The perspective is from within the choir, and we've made it quite a portable experience. So the first thing we want to do is take it out to more people. Not everyone can get to Keswick Museum, so we want to take it to care homes in the first instance, elderly homes, so that we can share the experience with more people. But beyond that, we want to start to look at whether or not we can convert this into an augmented reality experience rather than a full virtual reality experience. So that's our ambition, to continue to work with the National Trust in the future. It's not without its challenges. I just thought I'd put this challenge up as one of the big things of doing recordings outside in the field is in 360 degrees is where do you put your recording engineer? So you have to find a rock. So our hope is that we can build this project to be even bigger and more ambitious than it is already, and to improve people's quality of life through allowing them to engage in group singing using virtual reality technologies. Thank you.